Podcast episode number 39. For those of you that are joining us for the first time for the podcast or the second time, we've been getting a lot of influx of views. So I thought I would just address you guys at the beginning and say, hello, welcome to the Reality Check podcast. We love to have you guys here. We love to hear you guys' discussion. So every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, we stream the podcast live, and you can actually come visit it live. So if you guys are watching it now, you're probably watching the pre-recorded version, which is fine. Go ahead and look down below, and there should be, well, look down below in the description, and there should be a ton of, what are they called? What do we call them?
Links?
No, there's links. There's a link up, but what's the other thing? Timestamps. There's a bunch of timestamps. Go ahead and grab those timestamps. You can just sift through all our topics. Sometimes we don't hit on the most interesting topics to you. So go ahead and sift through those and pick what you want.
Like ham radio.
Like ham radio. We talk about that sometimes, and nobody's interested in that. And we have a link dump. So anything you guys hear us talk about, links or anything else, will be down there. And sometimes there's some extra links thrown in there, news that we just couldn't get to. So anyways, thank you guys so much for joining us. And go ahead, and we love feedback. The reason we do the podcast is because we wanted to start like a news episode video, but we realized there was normally too much going on, or we wanted to talk in depth too much and kind of more foster a discussion. Our podcast may not be the most tech oriented, details oriented. I don't know what the word is for it.
That's what our viewers are for, is for the details.
Exactly. So we'll kind of provide topics and spur thoughts and ideas and stuff you probably wouldn't think about on a normal day-to-day basis while hitting on news topics. And then in the comments below, there's normally either comments or live chat, depending on where you are. There's lots of discussion about specifications, what we got wrong, what we got right, and a lot of discussion. And that's kind of what we want the podcast to be, is to foster discussion around MR, AR, VR, every reality.
Put their logo everywhere.
We learned that we cannot give free sponsorship out to people, so we're not sponsored by 7-Up or Sunkist.
Even though it would be nice to be.
Some guy said, so we had a comment. Oh, better intro ourselves first before we get into this. Okay. I'm Eric. I'm your host for the Reality Check podcast, and this is?
This is Austin. You've seen me before, so.
I would say co-host.
Yeah.
You haven't missed one, so it's definitely co-host at this point.
Yeah, but I'm usually behind the camera with most of our videos, but.
No, yeah. So, anyways, Paul's not going to join us this week. He got really busy, but he'll be here next week, so we look forward to that. Anyways, we got a comment on one of our videos talking about the Samsung headsets, and at the end of, it's the video where we try on all the different headsets, like which MR headset fits best. And there was a comment that said, oh, I liked the Dell headset first until I got to the end and I tried the Samsung one. And then I added a little tidbit in that's like, actually changed my mind. I prefer the Samsung. And everybody thought we were sponsored by Samsung to say that. And I was like, first off, I would sell my soul for $15. If anybody's willing to give us $15, I mean, we'll say whatever. We've do anything. We've said
that once, and we'll keep saying it until someone gives us $15 to sponsor something.
Yeah, seriously. And I was like, no, I genuinely feel better about that. If you guys are interested in like the headsets, the MR headsets, I would go back to that video and actually check out the comments. That's probably one of our most commented videos. There's so much discussion and debate on different headsets going on there that if you're curious, the comments are probably more informative than the video at this point, because most of those headsets weren't even released yet when we made the video. So now people have started getting them and been able to trying them on. So it's definitely, go back and check it out if you guys already haven't. Anyways.
So here at the Hollow Herald, we kind of like build everything that we own because we're broke. We made these tables. We built we bought the computer, so
we built the computer parts together. We configured them together. Never mind. We built a budget computer.
So we make a lot of our things.
Yeah.
And So we want to make like a sweet podcast set.
Oh yeah.
And I was wondering, like, our viewers, what they would want to see on the set, kind of like set design ideas, or any like information would be helpful, because we kind of just wing it when we build things.
Yes.
So
you may have seen us like switch up our orientation of the podcast a lot. We started out one way with the video podcast. Well, we started with an audio podcast. Then we went to a video podcast with multiple angles, getting all the sync correct with that without an actual studio setup was difficult. So we abandoned that. We went to just one camera and sitting on the couches, and then we went to the table setup, and now we're to like this kind of duo setup. So we're just trying out whatever works best, and we're working on something awesome. Also, if you guys are into just audio versions of the podcast and you don't want to listen to YouTube, go ahead and go check out our SoundCloud at the Hollow Herald, and we're gonna have them up on iTunes, Google Play, hopefully Spotify, if they all accept us. It's kind of hard to get on there, actually. But be looking there. If you guys are into the audio stuff, you can just Google Reality Check Podcast, and we should come up. Anyways, I want to start out talking about an update on our Dell controllers. I had to replace the batteries.
Again?
I did replace the batteries. Well, no, I'm going to today, probably. So that was probably some ASMR, mixed reality controller ASMR for the people out there. No, that's not nice. That's probably the worst ASMR ever. So these have been in for about like 2 or 3 weeks, and they're already dead. So for everybody out there that made fun of me for saying we need USB chargeable ones, I really wish we had a dock or something to charge them on. And for people that are saying just get rechargeable batteries are pretty expensive, actually. So for the amount of I could charge in there, I could fill these up like 4 to 6 times for a good set of rechargeable batteries. I don't know. There's no happy medium. I love the controllers. I love the form factor. I love everything about them, except for their battery life. And I wish they had a dock. I would pay probably like $30, $40 for a dock to just put them in and charge.
I mean, Eric, you do leave these on for our whole hour-long podcast.
I do, but they're also not transmitting anything, so they should theoretically be in a sleep mode besides the lights.
Won't they start blinking after a while?
No, if you connect them to a Bluetooth device, they do, which is actually kind of cool. But I do leave them on more than I would say, but we don't use them for VR that often. We've only VR'd like 6 times probably, like actually intensive VR. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm split. We'll keep doing testing on battery life. I want to make like an actual video that's got like hard data and how long they last and everything. But interesting enough, you got Steam VR hooked up, didn't you?
Yes, Steam VR, flawlessly hooked it up. It's fun. Not many games are available for WMR, right? Wait, is it yeah?
Yeah, Windows Mixed Reality.
Okay. Right now, and most of them you have to pay for, which I don't have a problem with, but I mean, we're broke, so we can't really try many of them, but hopefully more of that content will be coming soon.
Yes, there's not many free games. That's actually kind of one thing of the bummer. That's kind of a bummer about VR that actually surprised me. I'm used to HoloLens where the apps aren't the highest quality, but most of them are free. Yeah. And if not, we can contact the developers and get them for free. But VR, since it's a more mass market and everything costs money, which I pull a face when I do that. Everything should cost money, you know. But at least trials or anything, there's not much free stuff. On Windows Mixed Reality, like the actual Cliff House in Windows Store, there's only like 4 free apps.
Yep. Which
I don't think is good. I think there should be a lot of free apps to get people wrapped up into it and some good high-quality ones. I'm kind of disappointed in Windows flagship apps. I like Halo Recruit. Mm-hmm. For those of you that don't know, Halo Recruit's like an arcade shooter where you play...
Which we should do a video on it.
A Recruit. Soon. Yeah, definitely. It's fun once, though. It's fun. If we can play it multiple times, but if I'm showing somebody the Steam VR, like the... what's the lab?
The Aperture Science Lab.
Aperture Science Lab. It's been around for like a year or 2 now, and it just feels way more intuitive than anything Windows has put out right now. That's free, at least.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit disappointed now that I've got to try Steam VR. I'm a little bit disappointed in the selection on Windows Mixed Reality. I expect that to change, especially after holiday season. But I don't know. Should be good. So what was I going to say? We have an article. I'm going to post it in the chat. This might take me a moment. But it's talking about how VR sales are actually going up again for once.
Ooh, why is that?
Which is really surprising. And it's actually not due to Windows Mixed Reality. It's just because
Christmas season?
I would honestly think it's Christmas season, and maybe I think computer parts are finally to the point where you can actually get bearable VR for not that much.
Okay.
Because a year or two ago, first off, the entry price. Oh, I'd also say a lot's entry price. The factors are probably the cost of the device is down significantly. Computer parts, you can get a pretty decent computer for not too much money now to run VR at least. And Christmas season. And the economy is just doing well. People have more money to throw around. I think these would all play into the fact that it's doing well. But this doesn't count for any of Windows mixed reality devices. They're so new. It makes sense why it's not. Let me. Sorry guys, this might take a moment for me to get it onto YouTube.
And just remember, folks, we are not a VR channel.
We are not. I mean, we're a mixed reality channel, or cross reality, or every reality channel. They're all realities. I think. I'm more on board with mixed reality now than ever. The term that they use. I used to be very anti, like, okay, let's separate AR, let's separate MR, let's start with VR. I'm totally fine now just having MR just be just a toss-up word, where it's like that can mean VR, that can mean AR, that can mean anything realistically. How do you feel about that?
Well, I would agree with that. I don't know.
What about to a normal consumer? What do you think?
I think it's. Restate your question.
My question is, do you care so much about nomenclature anymore? I can't post a link. Sorry guys, I haven't modded my own account, so I can't post a link. Caden can probably grab it for the Slack and drop it in there though. There's a link from TechCrunch in Austin's Slack. If you could drop that in the chat, that'd be awesome. And for you those listening after, the link dump will down below. My question is, here you go. I'll back this up with a story. My uncle just texted me and he said, "Do you guys have any suggestions for VR?" He doesn't know that we're like doing the Hall Herald, but he knows we're into this. We have all these devices and everything like this. He asked for any suggestions.
He doesn't know, and this is his office.
I said, I said, I think you should check out the new Windows mixed reality headsets, because I've had a few people talk to me about VR recently, and that's my go-to recommendation, especially just for ease of use. Price right now is really good for the Acer headsets. You can pick them up for $300, $350. That's insane to get into VR. And the specs are just right there, resolution's up. Anyways, I recommend Windows mixed reality to most people that ask me. And he's like, mixed reality, what does that mean? Does that do VR? Does that do AR? And then I kind of realized some of the fatal flaws that go along with this whole nomenclature thing. And then he looked it up and he said, "Does this have to be tethered to a computer?" And I'm like, "Yes, it does." And right then it clicked for me. Like, most consumers still we want it definitely, but we're more willing to build a computer to try VR. But most consumers are still not ready to embrace non-tethered VR, which I think will hold it back a lot. And to go off of this, I'm thinking about everything now that we use every day. We want everything to be mobile. Everything has to be mobile. Netflix has to be mobile. Even our hosted pirated movies on Plex have to be able to be accessed on mobile. We don't do that, by the way. That's just a rhetorical question. And video gaming is portable. Look at the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch is killing it right now. It's got more sales than the Wii U did in 1 year than the Wii U did in its entire life cycle. People don't care about TVs. People don't care about specs anymore. I'm starting to realize that. I don't think people care about specs as long as they can see it, as long as they can view it.
Viewers.
Except for our viewers. Yes, our viewers. I'm just talking on like a grand scale.
As long as it gets them what they want, it doesn't matter what it is.
It doesn't matter the quality. Like, people are willing to accept crap to be able to do it. So
that's why cell phone VR is working.
Exactly, and I think ARKit's doing the same thing. So I'm just really interested to see where these technologies go, especially with the emerging market coming out. You posted a really cool picture, actually.
Yes.
Maybe you could post a link to that picture to Caden. There's a picture in the Hall Herald main channel that Austin posted into the chat. That'd be awesome. It's a picture that like talks about emerging technologies. I can pull it up right now. I totally recommend you guys looking at this picture. It's pretty cool. I think I should have it up like right here. Oh, I should have also mentioned we're here. Caden's joining us. I've already talked to him like 5 times though, so I hope you guys pick that up. So It says the device form factors and product life cycle. And to the farthest right in the declining market is desk computers. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
I agree with that too. I'm curious in the comments. Let me know if you guys agree with these pictures. Desk computers, desktops, laptops are the declining market. Sales will start going down. People don't want them as much. Right now, the mature market is hand computers. So smartphones or tablets. How do you feel about that? Do you think that's the mature market? Do you think we have room to grow still, or do you think we've capped it?
I think there's little room for like mobile phones to move, but as we've seen with like the recent iPhone updates and the recent Samsung updates, like there's not big changes in the form factor and what they do.
Exactly.
It's a phone with internet.
It really is. They add a bigger screen with a smaller form factor, a little bit longer battery life. It's just we're just updating at this point. We're not progressing.
And so, but it is a very mature market in the fact that everyone has one, everyone knows what it is, everyone knows how to use a smartphone. So it's doing really well. And then the one that is on the incline,
the growth market
that most people know about, is like the Google Home, Alexas, Cortanas, and like wearable technology, like your watches, your smartwatches, that sort of stuff. It's kind of on the uprising, and I mean you'll see like Alexa commercials on your YouTube ads or stuff like that. So it's coming to be. And I mean, we use it every day. So
yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Actually, they say wrist computers and voice computers at this point, so they're all some form of computing. I don't think wearables, as far as like wrist computers, have that much growth potential.
No, I think they're a fad.
I definitely think they're a fad. I haven't seen people. I know very few people that have adopted the technology, and I don't see much growth beyond where we are right now. It's like you've basically took a phone and put it on your wrist. How much farther can you go with that? I don't think there's much progression, which means like, not much capital to be gained in that, in my opinion.
The only thing it like makes your life easier is instead of reaching in your pocket and doing this, you do this.
You're exactly right, and you have to remember to charge it. There's still a lot of fatal flaws in it. I think there's a little bit room to growth to make it like where it's palatable to everybody, but I don't think. Like, if I had money, I wouldn't invest it in wearables right now.
I mean, I would never wear it at the workplace I work in the first place because I'd break it. So
exactly, that's a good point. But you can still have hard-use phones and stuff. I think there's definitely more consumers to be gained there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the technology has much growth, though. Anyways, voice computers. I definitely think this is, like, the next, like, couple years, this is what we're going to be seeing.
It's actually really quite convenient to have these things that...
smart homes
and stuff like that, for like quick little tasks that you need. Like I need to make a reservation at a restaurant. We just did that the other day, and it was just like that,
easy peasy.
And like
one thing I would have liked to see in this growth more. Can you turn the headphones a little bit? I can hear myself. Just put them over somewhere. Yeah, like that. Thank you so much, Caden. Sorry. Lost my train of thought. Sorry. I think smart homes have a lot way to go, especially like the way to control them. I think Google Home is just like the beginning of the computing, but we still have things like Nest, thermostats. There's so many different devices in your home that can be computed, and I definitely think that we're going more that direction before MR AR hits super heavy.
Because I need an IoT dog feeder.
I mean, why wouldn't you though? I mean, at that point, I definitely see consumers buying that before they buy a VR headset.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's what I mean by that is the growth right now. I think this graph should encapsulate other smart home devices, not just voice computers. Because honestly, what else can we do with voice computers? There's progression in the algorithm and technology, but it's essentially going to be the same technology for a while.
And then the next is the emerging technology,
which is like a cloud.
Which I think Lucas Risotto kind of touched on how it is an emerging technology. Like VR and wearable tech, like the HoloLens and stuff like that, because we don't really know where it's going in the end.
Exactly.
Like, there's still a lot of new things that we're figuring out with AR, MR, and VR. I mean, we can't even get a right definition for the thing. So it's definitely emerging, and it's great community, but it is still small.
Emergent, yeah, that's why I call emergent. Their definition is many players still working out business models. This was made back in 2008.
Oh.
So this is old. Well, there's no way that was back in 2008.
That's the Google Home came out.
Yeah, okay, there's no... It says Tom Source-Chi 2008. Did he die in 2000? What? I have no idea. Anyways, sorry about that. But the guy predicted a smart home. Yeah. Even the design of the Google Home.
Maybe he was a developer there, and that was their top secret project named like... what's a stupid name?
Project Oslo. Anyways, so yeah.
Project Baraboo.
Let us know what you guys think about that article. I definitely think it's true. I think we have a lot of room for growth. As people that are in the community, if you guys are watching our video, or especially our podcast right now, you guys are very in-depth into the community. And it may have felt like it's been around forever. It may feel like AR, VR has been around forever. We're almost ready to move on to something new at this point. But I guess we have to just take it at consumer rate. We have to take a step back. I have to remind myself that all the time.
Yeah. So I'd say give it about 4-5 years.
Oh, definitely. Yes. But there's so much to be had and to enjoy in that 4 to 5 years. That's just till it's like a mature technology, 4 or 5 years, you know. In 2 or 3 years, voice computers will be the new stuff. You know, this is always a progressive chart. And so this could translate into it, and we're into that life cycle. But I mean, you can see it, just how far that life cycle is. I mean, if we look at computers, there's that one quote you always say, it's like, it took us 15 years to dig into this technology, it's going to take us 15 years to dig out. So we're at the very beginning of that 15 years. So like, cheers to the next 15 years of technology, boys. We're on the very like cutting edge, the first year. I would say now is the first year. I'd say 2018 is going to be like our first serious year of AR, VR,
yeah, but
MR.
it's 2017, we can do whatever we want.
Is 2017 nothing matters in 2017?
Nothing matters in 2017.
It's true. Freaking Microsoft showed us Minecraft on the HoloLens like a year or two ago at this point. It's been like almost 2 years at this point, and we haven't seen it at all.
Nope.
They could say whatever they want, and it's not going to matter. That kind of bothers me. Where's my freaking HoloLens Minecraft? First off, that'd get so many views on YouTube.
So many.
Second off, it would just be fun. We're at least we got mixed reality Minecraft at this point now.
Yeah.
So that'll get there. So go ahead and tweet Alex Kipman and say, "Hey, Ali, old pal." Don't tell him I said that. Where the heck is our Minecraft HoloLens update? But speaking of this technology going mainstream, it looks like HoloLens just showed up on a box. What do they call it? A normal TV show.
Oh, yes.
Traditional media.
The Good Doctor.
The Good Doctor. I've never heard of that. Have you?
I've never heard of it myself.
I've never heard of it. I'm sure you guys have out there, though.
But I did watch the segment that...
You did?
That Number One HoloLens posted. And it is pretty cool.
What is that? I didn't even get a chance to watch it. Explain it to me.
It's just, I don't know the characters or anything, but the doctors, they both have HoloLens on, and they have this heart, and they're, like, looking at it. I didn't have audio at the time I was in class.
Is it supposed to be, like, science fiction-y, or is this, like, an actual thing they have now? What are they implying?
I don't know. I didn't have audio, so I was in class, so they were just messing with a heart, which that's what doctors do, is mess with hearts. So
we have the freaking app. There's a heart app that we have. Go ahead and check out that video. It's actually really cool too.
You can like put your face in it.
And you can watch the valves open up and like see the hole through them. It's really cool. That's cool that it's getting like mainstream technology, because I mean mainstream media. MSM, it's hitting the mainstream media, because that just shows that like now that it's on like Hollywood's radar, that's really exciting actually for the technology as a whole. There's heavy debate on whether it's actual HoloLens or it's that. From what it looks like they just reskinned a HoloLens and used it, which is awesome. I don't know if they went to Microsoft directly or if they just bought their own and used it.
I think it looked real.
Yeah, I bet it was a real one. I bet it was just like for copyright purposes or trademark purposes, they had to cover it up.
Probably.
That's really cool, though. I can't wait to see it in more media. We actually want to start a show where there's been so much in the media. There's been so much mixed reality, virtual reality, holograms, all that kind of stuff in movies lately. I can name like 4 off the top of my head. I can name The Good Doctor. What's the anime one?
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell, thank you.
Blade Runner,
and American Assassin.
Yep.
So I can name them. I mean, Austin will name them for me. Those are just 4 off the top of my head. I bet there's a bit even more. I would really like to spend some time and explore those technologies in a video. So be looking forward to that soon. Anyways, we have another news article.
We do?
We do.
I came really prepared.
Austin literally walked in while the intro was rolling that you guys saw. So, sorry if this podcast was a little rushed. We missed it yesterday. Sorry for that, too. For everybody that's there.
And our beloved Paul is being a scrub.
Ooh, shots fired. Is he in the chat? He said he'd be in the chat.
He's not in the chat. He's being a big scrub.
Oh, dang. Arcona builds a market for digital land. Have yourself a little mixed reality Christmas. Ken, if you could drop this in the chat for me, that'd be awesome. It's by CryptoVest. It's in the podcast channel. And I didn't get to read it. So, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's a really long article. It's not very long. I'm going to assume it's something very cool that you guys will be interested in, though. I was too busy setting up the podcast while that got sent to me. Very informative.
Man, sometimes, guys, sometimes.
Sometimes what, Austin?
Sometimes we struggle.
We do struggle. A lot. Thank you guys for joining us on the podcast. We're not even close to done yet.
No.
We're getting there, though. I had a question that I cannot remember what I was going to ask at this point. Let me think for half a minute.
Did it have something to do with coffee mugs? Because that's what I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of coffee mugs?
Like Hollow Herd coffee mugs. Would anyone buy those?
I'm going to grab a soda. Austin can talk to you guys personally about coffee mugs for a minute.
Like, what would you like to see on a coffee mug? Like, our logo, our other logo? Just kidding. No, like, or should we make T-shirts? Or would anyone be ever interested in that? The 4 people that are watching. Oh, you're back. Thank goodness.
Sorry about that, viewers out there. Hopefully that gets cut out of the final version. Let me crack this open. Luckily, these get edited. So the people that see this, we got to remember, how long have we been going for? Negative 25.
Yeah.
That was not helpful at all.
Means we're not live.
This is a train wreck. Hopefully,
no, it's not. We're talking about good things.
All right. Well, I cannot think of what I was going to ask. I had a really good question planned. Let me think about it for a minute. Suki's staring at me right now, and I know thousands of viewers out there are right now too, and it just makes my brain lose.
Thousands?
Okay. Sorry, boys and girls out there. I really need to remember my question quickly, because this is getting bad. What was I going to say, Austin?
Is it in relation to the article?
Might have been. Let me see. Did you know they're running out of room to bury people in big cities?
Did you see that? Was that a Viceland documentary?
I can't remember who posted it, but they're doing like virtual headstones around the city. That's weird.
Yeah, that's strange.
Thanks for... I wish we would have known more about that. I think that's all the news. That's all the news we have. So I guess we just have to vent about topics that are important to us. I had some planned, but I can't remember what they are.
So, in my school, we had to meet with an academic advisor before registration and just talk about our plans. And I told my advisor about our YouTube channel.
Oh, really?
And she's like, what? The HoloLens? I've never heard of that, which everyone's never heard of it. And she's like, so what do you do? And I'm like, it's kind of like a hard question to answer to someone who has never ever been in the field.
No, it's really hard.
So
it's
I was
so
like,
hard to explain.
So I just was like, oh, we do tech reviews. And she was like, okay, let's go check it out. Because she was interested. And she was blown away. It was pretty cool. But I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, that's the response we get a lot. I can go up that. There we go. Thank you. That's the response we get a lot to the HoloLens. It always intrigues me. No matter what other new technologies there's an iPhone 10, a $1,200 iPhone coming out that's supposed to be the futuristic, coolest thing ever, and people are disappointed with it. But I have yet to ever see anybody disappointed with VR or AR. Every time I get it on someone's head, they're like, this is awesome. Maybe I wouldn't pay for it right now, but this is definitely a medium I would like to explore in the future, and I could see myself using. And that hasn't changed since we started the Hollow Herald a year ago at this point, is the excitement that's still there outside of the community. Inside of the community, people get kind of bummed out that it's not progressing as quickly, or, you know.
Yeah, I think if, like, the form factor can get smaller, with AR, like AR glasses or whatever. So they look like normal glasses, almost. And like, if I could choose when I wanted my display on and when I didn't want it on, and if they were prescription, then I'd be sold. To just have all my information on my, just in my vision.
Your heads up. Like a heads up display kind of thing.
Yeah, just to have it there instead of in my pocket, I think it'd be great. And that's where I want it to go. That's what I want to see happen.
What company out there has made claims that they can do technology like that? Rhymes with M. It starts with an M and ends with Magic Leap.
Magic Leap.
I haven't heard anything from them. Have you?
Nope.
If anybody in the comments has heard anything about Magic Leap, there was so much rumors about holiday season 2017, quarter one 2018. I still have yet to see anything about them though. They're still not. They're so tight-lipped still. I was gonna even have our Magic Leap drama. I guess our Magic Leap drama could be lack of Magic Leap drama at this point. Yeah. You'd think there would be some sort of ramping up.
Maybe it's the calm before
the storm.
The storm.
I think that's definitely a possibility. We kind of saw that with Microsoft. Microsoft just like fell off the radar for a while, and then boom, Windows Mixed Reality just in your face. A little too early if you ask me, but in your face, crazy all in there. I think that'd be a ballsy move for Magic Leap to do that, just to be like, here's a device.
I know, like they've built up such a secrecy in their company that it's just like it's gonna be really weird when they do bring something forth, and they're gonna get a lot of scrutiny with whatever they produce because of all the secrecy, all the time and money that they put into it. So if there's like one little thing people don't like, they're gonna eat them up. That's what I see. Exactly.
And I think it's kind of almost dangerous. Like I enjoyed like the secrecy hype. The more and more goes on, the less and less I'm enjoying it though.
Yeah.
I think that's dangerous. I think too much hype, so like for video games, too much hype can be bad. Like No Man's Sky, too much hype can be really bad for a video game. But also too little hype can be really bad. Can almost do the opposite effect. Like this level of secrecy that is just like ambiguous. People are going to forget about it. People are going to stop caring about it, I feel. And the device will come out and be like, oh, cool, the Magic Leap came out finally. And that'll be much. I think there needs to be like this equilibrium. And personally, as a consumer, someone that was looking forward to getting a Magic Leap, looking forward to see what they have to offer, my patience is beginning to wear thin. I kind of get that feeling. We talked to a lot of people in the industry in person and online, and that is kind of the feeling I'm picking up right now.
Yep. Especially when you're able to make jokes and they all laugh about it.
Exactly.
Like that. That's where you get to the point where something needs to come out, or there needs to be a press conference where they say something about their product.
Tease us a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine being teased with a little bit more. Just drop us a tidbit of information. Just do a list.
You don't like being teased with balloons?
No. I don't like Easter eggs that I have to hack the site, basically, to figure out what's going on and do hours of research to find it. Essentially, that's what they're not. That's not.
Well, someone has to find that exploit first, so. Well, I guess not an exploit, but
you see what I mean, though.
Yeah.
There shouldn't. That's not how information should be revealed, in my opinion. It almost sounds like who. I don't think you've read this book. Have you read Ready Player One?
No, but I know the premise.
So Ready Player One, for everybody out there, is like a futuristic book that's really great. They're coming out with a movie very soon. Highly recommend reading the book before the movie comes out because I do not think the movie will be that good. Anyways, I'm sure a lot of you have read it or have understood it. Ronnie Obovitz really reminds me of the creator of the game in Ready Player One. He's like this really, really rich guy that creates this game, but he's like a super nerd and he's super into like hiding Easter eggs inside of his games. He's obsessed with 80s movies, 80s books, 80s trivia and all that stuff.
The Eagles?
Exactly like Ronnie Obovitz. And he creates this game and then locks all of his riches away with inside of the game and is going to give it away to one player. I totally feel that's something Ronnie Obovitz would be doing.
Maybe that's what they're doing. They're basing this whole thing off of the book.
Ready Player One?
Yeah.
Well, it is like a super secret company that becomes like this huge agency. And I totally see so many semblances between Ready Player One and Magic Leap. I don't know. It's really interesting to me, actually. And I really like that archetype character, but I think it Roni's character type belongs a little bit more in fiction than in nonfiction. Is that bad to say?
No, but regardless, like whatever they make, I'm sure it'll be impressive.
I'm so freaking excited, man.
Yeah.
I think that's why my patience wear thin with the device idea, though, is because it's like I'm just excited. It's like Christmas Day. You know, you get really hyped for Christmas like the 1st of December and like up to like the 15th, and then you're like, okay, I'm done being hyped. I just want Christmas to be here and done with.
Right.
That's exactly how I feel about Magic Leap. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. What about Meta? What do you think their game plans are?
I think this is my view on Meta. I think they're playing the game smart.
Yeah.
And I think they want. Well, I don't know if they want to, but I think they're waiting for a bigger company to buy them up.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they've had any acquisitions. We should do a little bit of research into that and see what kind of, if they've had any offers or anything like that. Because they've been in the game basically longer than anybody else.
Because they have some unique and cool tech in their
they have stuff to bring to the table.
Yeah, they have stuff to bring to the table that could be just they're a pretty small company, and I think having the power of a larger company would help them be seen more. But maybe I'm completely wrong. But
no, I think you're definitely right. I used to criticize Meta a lot for not doing the correct marketing and not everything like that. But then I realized I think they're going at it very correctly, kind of staying underground. They don't want their device to get too popular where they cannot sell their brand without changing it, but they want to get their technology out their hands so they can develop it. I don't know. I think I'm really on board with what Meta is doing right now, especially since we got to meet with them and talk with them. That always helps.
They're an awesome company.
Hint, hint, Magic Leap. I'll sign any NDA you want.
We're coming to Florida.
Soon. We're coming to an undisclosed location. So, tidbit out there, anybody that's watching, if you're interested, just keep looking up on our channel. I don't think anybody will listen to this part of the podcast, but there's going to be something coming out very soon that you guys might find very intriguing.
Just wait for that notification
We should have been dropping
bell.
hints to this for weeks.
I know.
And then had it come out. That would be funny. Anyways,
Just
tune in soon.
Watch for that notification.
Yes, something exciting is happening very soon. Anyways, Caden, how long have we been going? 43 minutes?
That's good.
It's pretty darn close, I would say. Let me just think of one more thing that I had to say before we were going to end. I had a really important question that I was going to ask. And I have no idea what the heck it was about.
Refrigerator running?
Get the hell out of my podcast. Austin just walks up and leaves. Okay, what the freak was it?
Oh, hey.
Suki!
Suki!
Yeah, this podcast has gone to crap. Okay. Any last words, Austin?
Thanks for tuning in, those that did. Sorry it's a little rushed. Sorry it wasn't really... I mean, we had a couple articles, but... yeah, appreciate you. Hope to see you next week.
Anyways, thank you guys for joining us for the Hollow... Whoa, I almost called it the Hollow World podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Reality Check Podcast, episode 39. Suki, really thanks you guys.
I ask you about love, probably quote me a sonnet.